Hello, everyone. This is Duran's Healing, and welcome to tonight's Healing Circle. And for those of you who aren't new here, welcome to my channel where I provide weekly energetic updates for the collective. And tonight, this is an extra read to lean in what I've been picking up on. For the past 2 weeks, I was getting this nudge or this intuitive download. The first was about, 40 days. And I cued in on the story of Noah's Ark, where he was on this boat for 40 days because of a flood. I did not know where to go with this energy, so I let it be. And then I received a second intuitive pull maybe about a week later. But this was surrounding people not believing you the first time. People not listening to what you called when you called it like it was initially. And then later, they doubled back to say you were right. And then I merged these two downloads together, seemingly being on the same thread for me as I connect this story back to Noah's Ark. He initially warned people about a flood that was coming, and they did not take heed to his word. So at this time, what I would like to do is lean on the investigative side of the extra read for us. And what I want to do is to find this thread of consciousness that I was picking up on or pulling in these messages from. I would like to pull some stones, but because this is an investigative style reading, I'm going to pull a sample size of stones. I'm not going to pull all of them like I normally would in the general collective because I want to hone in on this frequency. I want to find this thread of consciousness because I know it's out here. So I would like to pull a few stones here in attempt to find this thread, and then I will pull cards to elaborate on the details or get more clear on what this thread is about in the cosmos. Very unique style. I have never done this before, and I'm pretty sure anytime I do an extra read, it will be very spontaneous, and I will trust my intuition that it's going to guide us to the right place out here in the cosmos. So at this time, I'm going to pull a sample size of stones to see if we can get close to finding what this thread of consciousness is about. So I did pull a sample size of these stones here to see if I could find this energy that I was picking up on out here in the cosmos. And beautifully enough, we've landed in the right space because the largest stone, the only elemental stone that came out was the water, signifying the flood. We've made it to the right place out here in the cosmos, and there is this thread of consciousness that I can see here running off of this stone. I would like to be very careful here because I did not pull all of these stones, so I do not want to get so close on it because I do not know what else is out here. So I do want to be a little bit careful and not seeing the other threads or other stones. But I will get as close as I can get to read it, and then I will pull cards to expand on that thread. And what I'm downloading here in this thread of consciousness is that there is something grounding you in the earth. Like you're healing something is what I'm sensing here. Some of you in the collective may be cleaning out your home front. Cleaning out certain parts of yourself is what I'm seeing here. But what I'm downloading is that this may be more about your family system, your family circle, your siblings, your parents, your grandparents, your extended family. A water would not be here if something didn't happen. Something tumultuous, something traumatic, something challenging occurred in your family system, and something in the cosmos is saying that you're healing from it. Coming to a space in your life where you're working through all of the mechanics so that you can move on, healing and processing it so you can move forward to a new level. Yeah, what I'm downloading here is that some of you in the collective may have found out a truth within your family system, may have came to terms with the way your family operated. Something here about addressing the dysfunction is occurring here in the stones. But the truth of the matter here is that you've made it to the space in the cosmos where healing is rising within you to make peace. And this isn't about making judgment or making a judgment call. This is about the state of your soul, your core frequency, to make peace with where you are, with the situation, allowing people to hold their position and you're holding yours, which is that of peace. And it's mainly what I'm seeing on a top level, mainly about making peace within yourself, making peace with the fact that people in your family are going to be the way they're going to be, and there's no changing them. But you want to live a different way. You want to operate on a healing capacity. And in order for you to move forward, you have to make peace with the reality of your home front. In order for you to do so, is what I'm sensing here in the stones. But I'm also downloading a second message here. What I'm getting here is that some of you in the collective are healing certain aspects of yourself when it comes to your core base energy. Yeah, maybe because you realize that the people who are closest to you may be operating on a different wavelength. And now that you're making peace with it, you're healing your core base frequency. You're healing the child in you that was yearning for a mother, yearning for a father, yearning for something outside of you. And now that you're in the midst of healing, oh, that's what the 40 days and 40 nights was about. Yet it takes time to heal. That is what your energy may be focused on. And something in you healing, something so profound, has taken you across the threshold of time and space. That's why we're able to connect it with the cosmos, losing a sense of timing here. You may be away focusing your energy on healing matters. And you don't have a sense of time, but instead your energy is more focused on cultivating this healing within you. Cultivating this side of yourself so that you can move forward, so that you can evolve, so that you can expand to a newer version of yourself that lives in a deeper truth, that lives more closely to the reality of your circumstance. And now that you're healing and working through the vibration of it all, you're realizing as time continues, you've been here for longer than you've expected. You did not know that it would take you this long to work through these energies. 40 days and 40 nights. Off away in this boat as the flood mounts, as the water rises, preventing you from escaping this healing process, preventing you from seeing what you need to see about your current situation and the paradigm around you, forcing you to evolve or to expand yourself beyond the situation, the circumstance, to move into the next level is what I'm downloading here. Very beautiful. But as you evolve or as you move forward, with this knowingness, in this healing space, making peace, reconciling yourself with a family situation for some of you, making peace with the fact that it's just simply time for you to evolve for some of you. You're moving forward to your abundance. You're moving forth in a way where you're recognizing that it is beneficial for you to curate a life that matches up with your energetic vibration, which is that of abundance. Not only abundance, it's almost like you're matching up with the vibration of your energetic power. Now that you've overcoming, or now that you've learned or grasped this message, on the other side of your healing is abundance and power. Because the platform of power is showing up here. But on one message that I'm seeing is that you stepping into your power makes you step into a float-like state, like you're floating on one end into a new reality. I'm just seeing this detaching from a world you once knew and stepping into the unknown. And in order for you to do this, it requires a great deal of courage. It requires a great deal of faith that you're moving forward in power, moving forward in the trajectory that your soul is calling you towards, which is changing your system's form of operation. The way you normally move is changing. The way you normally would associate with people is changing because you're awakening to a new version of yourself. This floating anchor that is unstoppable. Nothing can stop you right now. You have this glide or this grace or this lightened energy within you, allowing the energies to take you into this new version of yourself. And it dips you a little bit into a different paradigm. It dips you back into the paradigm because the organizational stone is here looping around. But what I'm seeing this as, there is this call as you sit in this boat to, send out this dove. Oh yes, send out this dove to relay the message. But this popping out or this dove release in this dip that I'm seeing in the cosmos, is your energy slowly popping out to communicate with people, interact with people on a very minimal level. What I'm seeing is that some of you in the current collective may have not posted in forever, and something in you gives you this call to post yourself or to post something about your world where people interact with you. This is symbolic of the dove being released. There is this message that's being sent out that you're moving in action. You're moving towards a different trajectory. They can see the difference in your vibration, your energy by way of what you post in this message, by way of what they receive from this dove, is what I'm sensing here. But this ultimately allows you to connect with people that will hold your gift. You may not be in association or ready to connect with the community on this level. On one end, what I'm seeing in the cosmos is because you're still on this ship, you're still on this boat, serving your 40-day sentence of healing. But on the other end, once this flood releases, once you integrate yourself back into the community, the very same people who receive this message or follow you in this way will be able to hold the gift that you dispense out into the world around you. A different version of wisdom, a different version of reality that I'm sensing here. The great weight of your release for the very people that will benefit from your healing process is what I'm downloading here. But not only that, there's something else coming off of this wave of power. It's almost like as you move forth and understanding your energy or understanding your power, it's like it makes you this pillar in the community. The message that I was getting surrounding the people that you told about the flood that was coming, the people you've told about situations that were coming ahead of them, they did not believe you. But now they're viewing you as this prophet, this monument, this truth teller in the community, because you've nurtured in a wisdom that they did not have access to. They did not believe you before, but now that you're away, they're feeling the weight of your absence and feeling your message being left behind. The words that you've uttered are nurturing their souls in the way that the people around them are not or cannot. They're missing your frequency, they're missing your vibration. But what's lasting on their energy like residue is the words that you've left behind with them, which is the truth, a deep wisdom that you've called before. You cannot help people who choose not to hear you. But as the truth comes to fruition, they have no choice but to see you as a guru now. This floating anchor, this monument, this thing that they're looking up to. Before, they maybe turned their backs, maybe they closed their ears, but now the tide is here. They're looking up to you as this floating anchor of wisdom, knowing that whatever comes out your mouth will be that of truth, is what I'm sensing here in the stones. Very large message that I'm downloading in this very specific thread of consciousness. And at this time, the cowrie shells end in this very specific thread as we sit out here investigating. But because they end, I would like to pull cards on this water stone, this platform of power, and the wisdom stones that sit out here in the middle of your gift. So I did pull cards on the energies that I was picking up on in the cosmos surrounding the downloads that I was getting surrounding the story of Noah's Ark. There were two particular messages here, one being 40 days and the other being you relaying a message to the people that they refuse to hear. So I did pull cards on this water stone in the earth, surrounding this flood, surrounding you being in this boat. And the cards that came out were accessibility, grounded, art, vibration, and treaty. And what I'm downloading here is that there is something in your energy that's connected to a much more spiritual information system that gives you the accessibility to information. But this information is very specific. This information is in relation to your healing process, healing aspects of yourself so you can stay uplifted. In order for you to stay in a heightened space, there is certain parts of yourself, certain parts of your experience that you have to do the work on. And something here in the cosmos cued you in on aspects of yourself that needed to be healed. Yeah, that's the message. You going on this 40-day journey, this 40-day cleanse, this 40-day experience for some of you. What's this energy of hostility? What's this energy of dysfunction? Once this energy reaches its cap, something cues into the cosmos, like this UPS system sending you this grounded message. This ground delivery is what I'm seeing here. And this grounded delivery, this grounded message that comes to you shows up in art, shows up in the way that you do not expect, shows up through symbols, through signs, through cues, through this very same message here. the flexibility of it, the ambiguity of it. Sends the alarm to you to let you know that you're cueing in on a deeper message here. It's through the spiritual arts that has the capacity to tap into your frequency, to ground you to a knowing that lets you know you need to cue in on this healing within you so that you can stay moving forward. And this accessibility, this access that you have, you feel it in your vibration. Yet that may be the dysfunction in certain family systems that I was picking up on. The vibration starts to mount up against the norm or the core-based frequency that you're radiating on. Yet that's how you're able to be triggered. I'm seeing this vibration like a wavelength, like triggering a heart-based monitor. Something about your steps and calculating your heartbeat. When you start to walk too fast, it starts to beep a little bit louder. Or when you reach a certain amount of steps, you've succeeded. This vibration that I'm getting here, there is this extension around you that may not have done the work, that may not ascended, this familial system around you that may be vibrating on a different wavelength than you. Something happened here. I'm still not sure what it is, but it quite literally changed the vibration of your energy, changed the course of action for you. That's why you started to pick up on this energy. Something fell on your doorstep that you did not even anticipate it. Things in your family, the drama, the chaos, the dysfunction may have been at bay, but somehow the mysterious of this energy radiating on your front porch is because of your accessibility to the other world, your healing capacity, your healing property. But I'm seeing this vibration have this shell around it, which lets me know certain vibration cannot make it to your world. Something in this energy lets me know you do not have the capacity for certain energies. You don't have the wherewithal. You're not doing it. No matter who or what shows up at your doorstep, you're not unlocking the door for a certain level of dense energy around you because you have to maintain your accessibility to the other world. And this profound knowledge or this profound situation that has fell in your lap surrounding your family made you make a choice. You had to make a choice to keep healing, to keep growing. But in order for you to do that, you had to cut things off. You have to cut off access to certain people, certain places, certain things because your vibration and your accessibility to the cosmos let you know that a flood was coming. And something here allowed you to make peace with this energy. But I'm seeing this making peace is more about you making peace with certain family members that choose to stay on a certain wavelength. You let them choose and you chose the same way. And you're making peace with the fact that everybody has made a choice here. And you're moving forth or you moving along your way because decisions have been made. Cards have been unfolded. The veil has been unleashed. The reality of everyone's circumstance is at play and you're choosing higher. Even if you have to leave certain things behind, even if it has to mean you leaving certain people behind. 40 days and 40 nights for you to process the decision that you just made. And as you sit here working through this chaotic energy for some of you in a family system, you're making peace, but not just peace. I'm seeing treaty came out. Yet this is about peace treaty. You making a peace treaty within yourself to never sink too down low, even when it comes to family. I'm seeing this family dynamic of yours have been quite the conundrum. This family system of yours have been quite the challenge for you. Because you would have never, in your wildest imagination, thought that these 40 days and 40 nights would you be processing, removing yourself from people you were closest to. By God. How did this even happen? How did this even show up on your front doorstep? But the call is here and you're making peace, writing down the treaty, processing your emotion about the magnitude of what you encountered in this situation. That's why it's taking you 40 damn days. Because by God, how? I'm just picking up on a heavy energy and you making a call on people that were dear to your heart, that you would have never thought that you had to make a call on. That's why this 40 days is here, processing the reality of your situation and making this treaty in your energy that you deserve peace no matter what, no matter how hard it may be. By God, I'm feeling this energy. But not only that, I'm also getting this second energy about those of you who are connecting with this energetic thread of consciousness surrounding your core-based frequency. Something about you healing this part of yourself, healing aspects of yourself, like you may have came to a certain energetic threshold or a certain wavelength in the world around you, and it cued you in that you need to shift your energy. This accessibility was about the cue to begin to ground this information. You had to get into a certain energetic vibration for you to do so. Yeah, you achieved a certain level. You've mastered a certain dimension. You've mastered a certain timeline. In order for you to ground this new and improved version of yourself, you have to create art in a new way, in a new level, on this new trajectory. Because it's coming by way of your intuition. You ended a certain energetic threshold because you felt so expanded in your body to move into something higher, to ground something a little bit more powerful. And you felt it in your vibration. You felt it in your cues that you had a little bit more to give to this world because the frequency you were vibrating on is so large. You can do so many things because your vibration have access to this healing wisdom that connects you to the other world, connects you to this thread of consciousness. And this treaty that I'm sensing here is you treating yourself to something a little bit more luxurious, a little bit more fresher. But this isn't in a materialistic way that I'm feeling in my vibration. This luxury or this treat that I'm sensing here is treating your energy to what you deserve. You've been through a lot. You have overcame a lot. Now it's time for you to get what you deserve. Treating yourself to what you have access to, the cosmos. The vast energy of the atmosphere that allows you to ground the art of the vibration that you're picking up on into reality, molding a different version of yourself, a healed version of yourself to this reality. Period. Very large message here in the cars. And I also picked up on this power, this grounded energy as you come up off of this 40-day cleanse or this 40-day hiatus that some of you are on, working through this energy that you're feeling. And as you merge or stay in this state, something in you longs to be loved. You do not know that it would take you away from the people, your friends, your social circle, people that you connected with on the day-to-day life. But you are on a spiritual journey. You are a spiritual being, and this is a part of the process. And this loving energy that I'm sensing here is more like normalcy, more like longing or yearning to be a human, not having to deal with all these vibrations and energies around you. There's something in you that simply wants to enjoy the life as a human. Is one message that I'm gathering here. But what I'm also sensing here is that there's something in your vibration as you heal that lets you know that you are deserving of love. Though you have been or came out of a tumultuous family system or something here for those of you who are dealing with the familial side of things, it's like you knew that you yearned for loving. You've yearned to be in a system where your energy was praised, was acknowledged, was honored. And as you embrace this healing aspect, you're finally giving this to yourself. This is a self-love on a cosmic level, and it's connecting you to your power, connecting you to this first wave of energy that I was picking up on. Yeah, this 40 days and 40 nights. You being in this hiatus let you know that you had to give yourself the very thing that you were yearning for in order for you to access your power. And now that you have gained or acquiesced this knowledge, you're stepping into your power, but more so of fluidity, flowing through the cosmic waves. And you're releasing this over-serving of your family system, over-serving or just releasing the weight of the heaviness that you were feeling and stepping into a more fluid-like state. And as you do so, you connect with your visions a little bit more loudly, a little bit more powerfully. The dreams that you were having, the visions that you were picking up on. Your weight is lighter now that you have released this pressure. You're uplifting your energy. Yeah, this dove that I was seeing being released out is you connecting with the visions that you were once tapping into. And now there is no lapse in time because you're in a fluid-like state. You're able to connect the dots. You're able to draw in the information that uplifts you, but not only that, uplifts the community. This is a frequential thing as well because you have a story to tell. Now that you're moving away from this dynamic of you basking in this 40 days, it's like you have gained an understanding about your story that will uplift the people. When you reveal what you truly have gone through, when you reveal the gauntlets of your reality, that's the truth here. They see this lightened or this loving version of you, but the truth of the matter here, your loving is because you did not have it. And your story will be uplifting to the world around you. That's the wisdom of your experience. And you being in this hiatus for 40 days and 40 nights, you're realizing you're much more than where you came from. You belong to the cosmos. You don't solely belong to your family system. There is this home here where you were born, this place, but your residency is in the cosmos. And you're finding your place as you allow your energy to be more fluid. And being okay with telling your story. Because as you tell it or as you share your energy, the lighter you become. And as you become light, you begin to find your place in the world around you, delivering your gift. And a part of your gift is the story that you share. Period. Very large message here in the cards. And if you stayed with me thus far in this very powerful investigative read here, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, or comment below. to let me know how these messages are showing up in your world. And with that being said, I would like to jump right into the cards again to pull the last and final thread that was about what I was picking up on in my energy. Something about you sharing or conveying something to the people and they did not believe it. That's what tapped me into Noah's Ark surrounding him conveying that a flood was coming. But the energies in the cosmos picked that up as well. And the cards that came out were No Excuses, Psyche, Listen, and Leader. And what I'm downloading here in the stones is that there is something about you wanting the world to be better, to be higher. What I'm sensing here is that there is no envy, jealousy, hatred within you. You yearn for everyone around you to be good. Even if you have to get the shirt off your back, you will do it. A humanitarian is what I'm seeing, a lover of energy, and wanting people to thrive, wanting people to feel the love from your vibration. That is what empowers you. That is what secures your energy here. But what I'm sensing is that there's something here that made you make excuses for people who mishandled your energy, who did not properly take your loving energy as it was. I'm saying taking you for granted or using your hiatus as something for their benefit. Like you being away helped them create the narrative because you weren't tapped in, is what I'm seeing here. But what I'm also seeing here, because on a higher level, this is about that dove being released, it's like there's something in your energy as you work through yourself, as you move through your energies. You gave excuses for people when you should have called a spade a spade, when you should have showed them the door at the beginning. But something in you always gave people the benefit of the doubt. You always wanted people to be higher. So you weren't operating on this wavelength, because I can see it here in the stones and in the cars. There is a frequential difference in your vibration that truly believes in humanity. But every turn, people give you the reason why you shouldn't. But your power lies in the fact that you don't. Somehow it's like you're just moving people around now. As you come out of this healing like state, as you pop your energy out, you're registering with certain vibration more closer to the vibration of this paradigm. You healing yourself is cueing you back in to the frequency of the reality more deeply, more closely, seeing the truth of people's energy. And you're no longer giving people the pass. You're no longer giving out hall passes. You're no longer giving out excuses for people's vibration. Because the truth of the matter here is that you have told them the truth of their energy. And now that you're stepping into your power, you're realizing they have been using your energy as an excuse to circumvent themselves away from doing something they have failed to do within themselves. And you're starting to register this in your energy. But also what I'm seeing here is that something in this no excuses card is that people look at you because you're so loving, because you're so gracious, because you're so lighthearted. They look at you for a pass for their own negligence, for their own shortcomings. And somehow in this powerful state you're stepping into, because you're healing something traumatic or healing something within your core, you're saying to them, I told you this would happen. But you turned a blind eye to what I said. I gave you the truth of the very purest energy that I was downloading. You gave them firsthand information that swept through your psyche from the other world, but they did not know how powerful you were, how connected you were. You were giving them a source of light. Not just information, a source from the consciousness to help them elevate or ascend themselves. They did not listen. They did not see the leader in you because something in their energy just wanted to take. They just wanted to get a whiff of your vibration. There is this dichotomy here that I'm picking up in the cards about people loving your vibration but not listening to your words. They want to feel good. They want their ears to be buttered. But the truth of the matter here, as you step into more of the downloads that you receive, step into more of your power, step into more of this leadership role, you're no longer offering your vibration as a source of vitality. Your words is just as true. Your words is just as powerful. If they cannot hear your words, they will not get your vibration, is what I'm sensing here, because you're ascended. You're on this elevated state now, like this floating anchor, being monumental, not just for you, but for the cosmos. Your energy is ascending to something unstoppable, something much more larger, to your vision, to your psyche, and you no longer have the time to play around with people who just want to feel good, people who just want to get a boost of your energy, people who just want to yearn or lean on your energy while still avoiding doing the work. You're beyond that now. You're moving or ascending beyond that. If they cannot hear you, they will not see you. And they're feeling that. They're feeling that at this very moment. People yearning for your energy. People yearning for your vibration, but you've been in a hiatus, working on yourself so that you can move forward as the leader that you are. Period. Very large message here in this investigative read. Thank you all for joining me in this extra read here. This is my gift to you all for those of you who do celebrate. I know some of you may be celebrating Christmas or in the holiday cheer. And with that being said, I'm going to take this time to come down from this very specific and highly channeled healing circle, and I will see you all at the next